everybody, and welcome back to another blog. Now this one is going to be done in a couple of parts because I have a market. Today is Friday and tomorrow we're off to the Scallop Festival for a market. We did this market last year. I can't actually remember how we went, so we're going to give it another go this year. Now, before we head off, I've got some more makes to show you that I've got to pack in my bag, and we'll get into those. Now, the first thing that I made was 2 capybaras. Oh, you can just see them. I'm not real clear on that one. Okay, there we go. You can just see his eyes in there. Anyway, we made 2 of them, 2 different browns. Believe it or not, that's a dark brown and not a black. I probably should have used bigger eyes looking at those now, but alas, I didn't. So they are what they are. Now, the capybara pattern that I use is a free pattern off Instagram. It's by my_crochet_frog. So it's a free pattern that is on Instagram. Very, very easy to make. Start in the round here with one color, change, just increasing in the round. The little ears there are crocheted in the round, and the bubble feet are also crocheted in the round, and just crochet all the way around to the end. I have made this before and I have sold before, so I'm just sticking to it because it's what sells for me. Now, this brown, I can't remember what yarn it was because it was a mill ends, but the brown is a Portercraft yarn. Now with the brown one, the light brown one here, obviously this brown is the same as the other one, which is a mill end. This brown is also a mill end, and both are made the same. I use a 5mm hook, and also these are only 12mm eyes. Looking at it now, I probably should use a bigger eye, which I think I will next time I make these. So once again, a free pattern off Instagram for the capybaras. Now, oops, it's going to roll down the desk. I don't want it to roll down the desk. This here is a new make for me. This one here is called Coop, and he is a Madeline Mae Co pattern. So it's a paid one off Etsy. It was a very, now I think it was a very easy make. I've had this pattern for a very long time. In fact, it was one of the first patterns I bought, and I thought it was too hard for me. This time I looked at it and I thought, I can do that. That's not hard at all. So as I have been told by someone, my skills have increased, that I am not looking at the pattern going, I can't make that. Once again, it's a very, very simple make. You make the 2 legs and the 2 wings separately. You make the beak separately. Everything is crocheted in the round, so you attach the legs as you're going around, and you attach the arms going around, and the head is also crocheted in the round right up to the top finishing. Hi, and we're back again. Sorry about that. I had a FaceTime call coming through from my beautiful daughter-in-law and granddaughter. Anyway, getting back to Coop, this little fella that I made here. So as I said, everything was crocheted in the round. Sewed them on. I used 12mm eyes. Don't need anything more than that. Used a 5mm hook. So that all worked well. This is just a slip stitch on and just making a little bow tie, and his little finger things up the top is just all crocheted across the top. I can see fluff. So that's little Coop, all made, all ready for his market. Definitely will be making that again. As I said, that was Portercraft in the yellow, and the white was a mill end that I used up, and the red is some Jolly and Joy that was gifted to me. So that's the Coop, and as I said, he was a Madeline Mae Co pattern paid off Etsy. Now on to these two little fellas here, commonly known as Leggy Froggies. Look, not a great fan of the pattern, but I'll probably will make it again. Now, it was a free Instagram pattern. It is called Tiny Baby Froggies, and it's from katskraftycrochetkorner. So once again, it is all just made in straight down. Don't have to attach these. These are crocheted in the round. They're just chains back up with the feet on them. That one there, I used 12mm eyes. That was some Portercraft yarn I had, so he's a little bit bigger. This one here was just some Spotlight velour that velvet that I had, sorry. I used 9mm eyes, and I've put a keychain on that one there. Same principle, so still the same hook size, a 5mm, just in a thinner yarn, so he's a little bit smaller. Not much, as you can see, but just two little makes to take to the market for my little ones. Now, last but not least is, I'm on my chook binge again. So I've made two little mini chickens this time. Now, this is a free pattern also off Instagram. It's by Nerdy Peach Stitches. Very simple, in the round, no sewing, just a little thing crocheted across, 9mm eyes. Now, that was some of the brown left over that I used on the Capybara, so I do believe that was a mill end. Not real sure, just some leftover red and yellow that I had. Now, once again, this one here is some mill ends again, and just using that's the Jolly and Joy up the top there, because I ran out of my other one. Very simple make. See how they go with my other chickens, because as I have said previously, my other chickens are great sellers. Not real sure how these two will go. I might get another one made tonight. I'm not real sure what I'll get made tonight. I'll certainly try and make something, but I'll get it made so that I can take it to the market tomorrow. So that's all the makes that I've got. As I said, I just had a quick look at my stock for what I have got to take to the market tomorrow. It's not a huge amount, but I'm happy with what I've got made. We'll do a display and we'll see how we go. It's going to fill up the spaces. I've got other things to put out because, as you know, I don't have much horseshoe art, and I don't know when I'm going to get more of that. So I will just fill the table with what I've got. So that will be us tomorrow. I'll try and do some updates, show you my table and everything through the market, and hopefully some good updates. I have no expectations of this market. I've given up having expectations. It is what it is, and it will be what it will be. So we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow, and then I will also do a market recap and let you know how we go. So until then, I'll catch you on the flip side. See you again soon. Hello and welcome back. It's now Sunday afternoon and I'm going to do a bit of a market recap. I'll just pop in here the video I took of our stall before the market. So that'll happen now and I'll be right back. Of the doubt, meaning that I wasn't overly impressed with the organisation nor the advertising, but being new to the market scene, I thought, yeah, we'll do it again this year. I'm not doing it again. It was very badly organised. They had people squished into the hall, and literally there was only a space for one person behind our table to the next table behind us. So if you can imagine, there's two of us, one for my table and one for the table on the other side, because it was alleyways. It was shocking. We couldn't move. Luckily for me, I had a great store holder that was behind me, and we made it work. But it was terrible. There was just, I can't even begin to explain. It was just awful. Now, there was confusion as to how long the market was going for. We were told that it was 9 to 1, and I double checked all the correspondence, and yes, it was 9 to 1. No, sorry, 10 to 1, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. When we got there and we're set up and everything and the market's going along, people were saying, oh no, the market's on until 2 p.m. And we're like, no, it's only on until 1 p.m. So they went and asked some of the organisers, and the organisers' response was, I don't know. And it's like, how come you don't know? And so everybody was very confused about that. So again, not great organisation. Now, the other part was that I watched it in the lead up, watching for the advertising. There was no advertising. Hardly any whatsoever. Now, this festival goes for a week, with the culmination of today being the last day, Sunday being the last day. Today is advertised everywhere. It would have been so much better to have the market on today, where there was bound to be more people, instead of having it yesterday when people weren't going to come because they were going to come today. Anyway, that's just my feedback. Personally, for us, it was a terrible market. When I say terrible, we hardly made any sales. We did make our store feedback, which is great. Always, the first and foremost thing is to make our store feedback. But other than that, there was nothing else. Now, as I said, the market began at 10 a.m. My first sale wasn't until 10:52 a.m. So almost an hour after the market had actually begun. I sold 3 things in the first sale, and they were all smalls, if you could call them that. One was my leggy frog that I made and put a keychain on, and they also bought 2 of my scrunchies. Now, I'll pop a photo in up here so you can see what the scrunchies look like. Now, the scrunchies are old stock. I do have the yarn to make more scrunchies should I decide to, but at the moment I'm just trying to go through what stock I have and just deplete that, because I don't like using the word binge, but I did. I made heaps in the beginning and I'm still stuck with them. So the point is, I'm not going to make any more until I sell what I've got. So that was my first sale at 10:52 a.m. My next sale was at 11:10 a.m. and it was one of my new eggy chicks. So that's the chick with the egg on the head. Loved it, but they were calling it a duck. I wasn't going to disappoint them and say that it was a chick, and they also thought the egg was a beret and thought it was a French duck. I'm going with it. I sold it. I sold an eggy chick. Then at 11:18 a.m. I sold another one of my scrunchies. So that was another one gone. Then at 11:34 a.m. I sold 2 of my axolotls. Now, I had those in my stock. It was a little boy. He couldn't decide, but then he decided that he wanted the pink and the blue axolotls that I'd made, one for him and one for his sister. So that was really cute. So 2 axolotls in that sale. At 12:05 p.m. I sold one of my beanies. Now, it was the beanie that I have shown you recently that is fresh off the hooks. So that one has now gone. Then at 12:43 p.m. and my very last sale of the day was one of my new baby chickens that I made. Can't remember what the color was, but loved the little baby chickens, so I'm going to have to get in and make some more of those. I did only take 2 to the market. That's all I managed to get made, so I would like to restock those because I feel that they're cute and I think they're going to be a great seller. So that was my last sale at $12.43. So for the day I had total sales of $80. They were all small items. There was no large items whatsoever. It was a total of 6 sales, with the average sale being $13.33. Now, of that, look on my other piece of paper here, $60 was cash and $20 was card. So the square fees was 38 cents. The site fee was $40. Now, I had paid that $40 probably at least 3 months ago when I actually booked in to do this market. So that left me with a total take-home amount of $39.62. Not even enough for yarn money. So we promptly went and spent that $39.62 on some lunch. We managed to find a fish and chip shop where I could get some gluten-free fish and chips. I'm celiac, in case you're wondering why gluten-free. Well, then we went down to the water and had some fish and chips for lunch. Now, my categories. My plushies, I sold 5 of those. My hair category, that includes bandanas and the scrunchies. I sold 3 of those. And then my category I keep separate for beanies, I sold 1 of those. My great big day out at the market. Anyway, it is what it is. I keep saying that. Roll on to the next market. At the moment, I'm looking into what markets I can apply for and do. Luckily, there's not a huge demand. Like, you don't normally miss out on doing a market if you apply for them, say, 2 or 3 weeks beforehand, because they're always after stall holders, because not everybody is having a great time at markets, so they're always open to people coming along. I'll continue just to make things and to stock items up, but at this stage I don't actually have another market booked in. I am going away Wednesday week for a week. It's my granddaughter's 5th birthday, so I'm going to be doing unicorn sparkles and pink. So I'll be away for a week, so I will start looking at doing markets when we get back. So the first weekend available would be the 19th. I think it's about the 19th of August, or is that when I get back? No, that's when I get back. So the weekend straight after that would be my first availability, but I won't be doing a market that weekend. I have noticed that there is, where's my other piece of paper? Just, I'm flicking over here. I see that there's a market on the 5th of September that is in an area that I haven't been to before, so I am considering applying for that market to go for a drive, see what somewhere else is like. Now, our favourite one, the Lilydale market is in September as well, so I am looking forward to that one. So hopefully my application for that is successful. They do like to give all makers a go at that market because it is a very popular market. So hopefully, fingers crossed, my application for that market is accepted. Other than that, I haven't got any more booked in, so I will have to get in and have a think about what I want to do. Unfortunately, during our shed fire, I have lost our marquee, so I'm not in a position to go and do any outdoor markets. I still have our tables because they were in my car at the time, but as for doing outdoor markets, I don't have a marquee at this present point in time, and until we have a shed and the insurance is settled, I won't be getting another marquee in a hurry. So all the markets that I would like to do, I will have to obviously make sure that they're indoor markets so that I can go and participate in them. Other than that, that's about all that's been happening. I'm not getting upset about this market like I have done previously. I just had this gut feeling that it wasn't going to be great as soon as we rolled up, and I just said to Vance, I said, you know what, we've probably done our money. We did and we didn't. It gave us lunch for the day, so what can I say? I had fish and chips down by the waterside, and to actually find somewhere that does celiac-friendly fish and chips was a bonus, so I was happy with that. Well, that's about all that is happening in the world of Kiora Creations at the moment. I just want to give a shout out to all our new subscribers. Welcome. I do hope that you stick around and enjoy what's happening here on our channel. To all our current subscribers, thank you also for sticking around, and I do hope that you are enjoying our videos that we put out. I must say that I am starting to enjoy the process of doing videos. They are not a chore for me at the moment. Yay! So we'll hang in there and we'll keep going. If you do like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and for those that have just popped in and seeing if this is something that you do like, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here in our little community. And that is it. So instead of rambling on, I will finish this here. Have a great week, everybody. Whatever you're doing, be safe. And remember, the sun always comes up tomorrow, and keep that smile on that dial. Catch you later. Bye.